guys, welcome back to another movie review. Today we are reviewing Ghostbusters: A Frozen Empire. Yes, this is the latest movie in the Ghostbusters franchise. Now, if you are new here, I have over the years, well, the last couple of years, I have watched all of the Ghostbusters movies, and I also have revisited recently the newest one, Afterlife. Obviously, this is like the sequel to that one. And yeah, awesome franchise. Is the next one living up to what I thought of Afterlife? Because I actually really enjoy and like how Afterlife was and made. Frozen Empire. It doesn't hit the heights of Afterlife. It is safe to say. For me, I think Afterlife is a much better film, much better story in there, much just nice, it's more wholesome, you know. You care more about what's actually happening and you think there's actual consequences there. Frozen Empire, for me, the last one had a real good balance of old and new. So you had the new generation with Paul Rudd and the two grandkids of Spangler, his daughter as well. So it had real good, you know, I felt like it had a really good like balance of the two different aspects of the film. So McKenna Grace plays Phoebe Spangler, so she's one of the girls. Trevor is played by Finn Wolfhard, so they're the two kids. We got Carrie Coon, who's playing Callie Spangler, as well as Paul Rudd, obviously, who plays Gary. And they are like one avenue. They're the new generation, you know, in terms of taking over and all that. And then you got Dan Aykroyd, of course, and Ernie Hudson and Bill Murray. They're like the originals and all that. And I feel like it was doing too much. I feel like there was way too many characters in this film for what it was. There was like this one entity that was like horned, like a horny thingy majiggy, and like that was like a demon or whatever, or a ghost trying to like free all the other ghosts. I like the concept of that, like the fact that like the vault was full in the firehouse. It was full, it was bursting at the seams. There's been 40 years worth of ghosts in there. Of course, I like that concept. I thought, here we go. But there was something about it where it was just a bit chaotic for me. It was a bit too much going on. Certain characters that thrived in the first film, like Podcast. Like, I loved Podcast, played by Logan Kim. I thought he was brilliant in the first film. But in this film, he was very, he was benched. You know what I mean? He was at the back foot of that. You know, in the Afterlife film, Paul Rudd wasn't in the film as much, which I think was better because he wasn't really playing that character. He was just that background person, but he had that, it was that good balance. It was more about the kids first. This film, don't get me wrong, it was about the kids. Phoebe was still very much the focal point of the film, and Trevor was very much used as just like this, you know, character who doesn't get things done kind of thing. But Paul Rudd took center stage too much, and then his humor was way too out there for the tone of the film, in my opinion. Likewise, then we get new characters like Kumail Nanjiani. Obviously, he's got a particular style to him. He's coming in and adding his flavor into it. There was too much going on, too many main characters in the film. There was some positives in there though. There was a supporting cast member, James Acaster, who is a British comedian. I really liked his performance. Like I say, I don't think he's been in anything else before. I think this is like one of his first like major roles. I actually was in the Cinderella movie and voiced one of the mice. But other than that, this is his like first film, and I thought he was quite good. He was playing like a Q kind of role from like James Bond. So yeah, I really didn't mind his performance. But some of the things that made the Afterlife movie great just wasn't prominent in this film. Now, looking at like actually who made the film and all that, this was actually directed by one of the producers of Afterlife, Gil Kenan. So Gil Kenan, he actually was like a producer on Afterlife. He wasn't the director. The director just didn't decide to take this job up. And that director, of course, is Jason Reitman. Now, Jason Reitman, for me, that should have been a priority. Like, he should have carried on the story, in my opinion. I think he knew what he was trying to do. I felt like there was more of a plan, whereas in in Frozen Empire, he just plays a producer role, and I just think it really showed. It wasn't what, you know, what the first movie felt like. It felt a bit more chaotic and dare I say a bit like straight to DVD vibes, you know. It just didn't feel that amazing. Afterlife, I thought, was a fresh take with a really interesting story with, you know, loads of development of characters in there, but Frozen Empire just literally froze everything, pardon the pun. So, rating the film, what will I rate it? Well, I actually gave it a 3-star because look and feel of the film, I think it looked really good. It had really good, like, cinematic moments in there. There was definitely some really nice CGI parts in the film. Also, I believe that the film had a very low budget, which I'm just going to Google now because I think it did have, like, a really well respected budget. Yeah, so that budget actually was $100 million. So, when you think about a big franchise, something like Ghostbusters, having a 100 million budget, that is actually pretty good, you know, for the franchise, you know, to actually do that. They're obviously going to make a profit on it, which means they're obviously then going to probably make another one. But I just think the story, the actual plot development stuff in Afterlife was much more well made. And the fact that Afterlife, I actually looked it up, was a 75 million budget. So they actually made like way more money on Afterlife, but it was just coming out of the pandemic and all that. I think it would have been quite a high rated movie. But there it is. Ghostbusters, A Frozen Empire. That is my opinion of it. Yeah. 3. It's not one of my favourites in the franchise, but yeah, it's definitely not the worst. It's not 2016, is it? But yeah, there we go. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more reviews coming soon, and of course, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.